ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सागरहितं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेव श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं वन्दे श्री गुरुदेव तारणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्येश्वर. So once again, thank you all, Gurus and Matajis. The three shlokas that we are going to discuss today are from the 20th chapter of Srimad Bhagwatam, Canto 4, where we see Lord has appeared in front of Lord. Right? That is the beauty of our philosophy. Like in Chaitanya Leela, Advait Acharya worshipping the Shaligram Shila for the Lord to appear. Right? So the Lord appearing the Lord for the Lord to appear. Right? Advaita Acharya is the incarnation of Sadashiva. He is worshipping Shaligram Shila, which is the Lord. Why is worshipping? So that the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can appear. So the tattva, the truth, and the intentions, the mood, that is the basis. Right? So the things that we are going to learn today is like Lord has appeared in front of Prithu Maharaj, who is also an incarnation of the Lord. And we are going to learn about the surrenderness, what is actually called surrenderness, what is not surrenderness, and do we have any choice? These are the things that we are going to learn. So once again, I seek your blessings so that we can all together glorify the Lord and learn something which remains in our heart for a very, very long time. So the first shloka we begin with. Vanayadhya jana isha yad anyad asata pratamano buddha yatha charet bala hitam pita swayam तथा तवम evarhasi naha samhitam. So let me request uh, someone wants to read the translation and the purport.
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Translation.
Mataji, so Divya Madhati, is it okay if you read the translation and Prabhu read the purport?
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My Lord, due to your illusory energy, All living beings in this material world have forgotten their real constitutional position, and out of ignorance, they are always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship, and love. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefit from you, but as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son, please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, Mr. Murthy Prabhuji, you want to read the purport?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी पर्पट पे ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत प्रभुपाद की जय. It is the duty of the son to depend upon his father without asking anything from him. The good son has faith that the his father knows best how to benefit him. Similarly, a pure devotee does not ask anything from the Lord for material benefit, nor does he ask anything for spiritual benefit. The pure devotee is fully surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Lord takes charge of him. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami. The Father knows the necessities of the Son and supplies them, and the Supreme Lord knows the necessities of the living entities and supplies them sumptuously. Sup- sumptuously. Therefore, the Ishopanishad states that everything in this material world is complete, Purnamidam. The difficulty is that due to forgetfulness, the living entities create unnecessary demands and entangle themselves in material activities. The result is that there is no end to material activities, life after life. Before us, there are various varieties of living entities, and everyone is entangled in transmigrations and activities. Our duty is simply to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and let Him take charge, for He knows what is good for us. Prithu Maharaja therefore tells the Lord that as the Supreme Father, He may elect to bestow whatever He considers beneficial for Prithu Maharaja. That is the perfect position of the living entity. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us in his Shikshashtaka, न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगतीशकां यये नामा नमाज नम मम जन्मानि जन्मनेश्वरे भवतर् भक्तिर्हैतकी त्वयि. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor I have any desire to enjoy beautiful women, nor I do want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. The conclusion is that the pure devotee should not aspire after any material benefit from devotional service, nor should he be enamored by fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. He should always be engaged favorably in the service of the Lord. That is the highest perfection of life. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Excellent, Prabhuji. So, a very, very strong shloka and very, very powerful purport. So, so it is mentioned in the translation, due to your illusory energy, all living beings in this material world have forgotten their real constitutional position. And out of ignorance, they are always desirous of material happiness in the form of society, friendship, and love. So, even the so-called demigods and the very same Vedas, Shila Naradaji mentions to Vyasadeva when he is instructing him to write Srimad Bhagwatam, that the language of the Vedas is very flowery language. So they use those words so that the living being gets more and more inspired for more and more uh, uh, higher degree of the sense gratification. They they do, because Vedas has everything. Uh, Naraji tells to Vyasdeva that though you have glorified the Lord in the Vedas, but you have not glorified him sufficiently. So, for example, if you have written 1,000 pages of about in the Vedas, and then you will see like page number 98, 236, and 885, like that. In between, you have glorified. But the major part of the Vedas is to attract the normal human beings for their more and more fruitive activities, so that they stick only to that and does not go beyond that. So this word sufficiently is very, very important. Yes, we do chant, we do read scripture, do the devotional service, but is that devotional service sufficient? Okay? Are we also following in the footsteps of Vyasdeva, what he did before he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam means only and only glorification of Lord Krishna, which makes not only Vyasdeva, but any reader, any person who speaks, anyone who hears, anyone who asks the question, are all equally benefited. So now the further part in the translation. Therefore, please do not ask me to take some material benefit from you, but as a father, not waiting for the son's demand, does everything for the benefit of the son. Please bestow upon me whatever you think best for me. The mood that we are getting here of Prithu Maharaj is that he is surrendering himself to the Lord like an innocent boy who does not know, what is good for him. Prithu Maharaj is an incarnation of the Lord, as we discussed, but he is teaching us the same mood that we should follow. See, our problem is, our biggest disease is we are all suffering. We are getting fried, rotten in this world, not by anybody else. Anybody else comes next into the queue. The queue starts with ourselves, with our own thoughts. We we are putting ourselves into a very terrible situation. And then it is fine. But the bigger problem is we do not accept it. Still, we do not open our heart to the Lord. The challenges do come. And like when we go into the office and someone says good morning, our heart knows what all the challenges we are going through. How? Let us meditate for a minute on this. Forget about the morning. How even the whole lifetime can be good without even remembering the Lord once. Right? 2.3.17, which says even a moment, every moment we are dying. Okay, and only, and this sun rising, right? Ayur harti vai pumsam uddanastan na cha yanasau. So this rising and setting of the sun is eating the life of everyone, except for those who are using their time in glorifying the Lord. Because for a devotee, one very senior sannyasi in ISKCON had told, for a devotee, the death is nothing but a change of service. Srila Prabhupada says, when we close our eyes and then we wake up, for a devotee, the death means he's sleeping here, and when he's opening his eyes, he is with the Lord. So this is called unceased glorification. Why to stop in glorifying the Lord? Now we were discussing the biggest disease, right? The biggest disease is We are suffering, and still we are not opening our heart. The prayers of Prithu Maharaj are so deep. It is taking us directly into our childhood, okay? and and teaching us how and what our mood should be. The same things that we had for our toys when we were young, right? These are my toys. After a lot of struggle, I got it from parents, and I want to keep them. And then the previous shlokas we all would have gone through, right? Lakshmi Devi will be quarreling with me because now I want to serve you a lot of sweet. But fine, you are the well-wisher of those who are poor and who are weak. So I know you will accept me. Uh, it's very, very touching, right? Like like a younger brother telling, "I am weak. I cannot challenge the elder brother. So I know my parents will save me." Okay. So further, this material world, it is like an ocean of the problems. Okay. Think yourself. Let us all think ourselves into an ocean. What is our capacity when we are within the ocean to search that can save us? Maybe, maybe something which we are perceiving as a small island, and maybe what we think it is going to protect us from this ocean. That small island may happen to be the back of a very dangerous whale, right? We don't know what is our capacity to see in the ocean. We can just see it depending on whatever little bit knowledge we have. We know something. We don't know everything. When we are in the ocean, and if we want to cross the ocean, we need someone who is outside the ocean and can protect us, right? Otherwise, our guesses of whether this is an island or this is a boat are all going to be uh, washed away in matter of no time. Okay? And we don't have to go very far. Why to go into the ocean? We in our homes, sitting right here, we can all we all have experienced it. We feel our money can protect us, but then the money itself is going to lose its value. Whatever we earn, we don't. All of us have this fear, right? Whatever I earn, I don't know what value it will have after 10 years. So whom are we fighting with, right? And whatever money we earn, it will never be sufficient. Even today, it is not going to. It is if 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 more money could give us satisfaction in future, then it is 100% required that whatever money I have should be satisfying me today. If it cannot happen today, it cannot happen in future also. Because in future challenges and let us completely talk in the material sense. The cost of life, everything is going to increase, and our capacity to earn is and the strength are not going to be increasing into any proportion. Instead, it is going to be reduced. So it is something a battle which is already lost. Okay, struggling with Maya. See, it is a very interesting point. If we think we all are selfish, let me make it very, very clear to all of us, right? We are not at all selfish. Okay. We have been leading our life very, very selflessly. How? We are not a body, right? We are not these senses. And we have spent our years and decades and life after life in serving someone else whom we are not. So, what is the meaning of selfless? Selfless means selfless means doing all our labors activities for the for someone else, and we know we are not this body and we are doing it for somebody else. right? We are the soul, but we are doing it. All our actions, everything, we are doing it for somebody else. The only mistake that we are doing is like we are doing it for the satisfaction and the service of the Maya. We are identifying ourselves wrongly and hence ending up serving the Maya. So all we need to do is, uh, I, I had the opportunity to have darshan of His Holiness Bhakti Vrat Bhagwat Swami Maharaj this morning. So that's why I might be saying very enthusiastic. It is the result of a talk with him. So he told we don't have to uh, we don't have to do anything new into the life. In morning when we wake up and we do our chanting, okay, if we are sincerely chanting our 16 rounds in the morning with the utmost attention, okay, then anything we do during the day becomes a devotional service. We cannot do, we cannot go to uh, dhams like like why I'm touching is like Mataji was very fortunate and she prayed for us, right? But it is not possible to go very frequently. But what does Yudhishthira tells to Vidura? Tirthi kurvanti tirthani. In the hearts of the devotees, the lotus feet of the lords are always there, right? So following in the words of what Mataji explained and what Maharaj explained is we have to be into the consciousness, okay? Like in Srimad Bhagwatam, third canto, uh, ninth chapter, there is a beautiful analogy by Srila Prabhupada. He says the type, this tape recorder, okay? Tape recorder has the voice recorded. So the person himself is not there, but his voice is getting echoed, okay? It is something very interesting. The voice of the person is getting echoed in the tape recorder. The person himself physically is not there, but because his voice is getting echoed, okay? So it also means that the person is there. Without the energetic, the energy cannot be there, right? Let us understand this a bit more with another example. When Vyasdeva was calling Sukadeva Goswami that, oh my dear son, please come back. Because as soon as he took the birth, he ran. He ran away with the fear of Maya uh, affecting him. Okay? So when he was calling him, the trees echoed the voice back. Only trees were hearing. Okay. Now in Chaitanya Leela, Haridas Thakur answering Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji's question that how these other living entities, human being can chant and they can deliver. How will these trees and everybody else will be delivered? And then Haridas Thakur answers that those wherever the sound vibration of the chanting goes around, including the trees, everyone gets delivered. So we went story inside story, and now we are clubbing them. So Haridas Thakur saying the trees will be delivered because they are hearing the echo of the sound vibration of the holy name. And the tree is responding back to Vyasdeva when he is calling out for his son. And the sound vibration on the tape recorder of Srila Prabhupada's voice getting played. There is no difference. The sound works. Now, why are we discussing about the sound here? We are discussing because we have to make our whole day Krishna conscious, whole life Krishna conscious. And then the beginning of that can happen if we are in the mood of Vrindavana, where everyone is only and only worried about the pleasure of the Lord only, which is possible in our current state when we start our day with the most sincere chanting, whatever is possible in our limit. And one thing which I really liked from this purport was this line: the pure devotee is okay. Similarly, a pure devotee does not ask for anything from the Lord for material benefit. Yes, and then comes the line. Nor does he ask anything for spiritual benefit. It is something like uh, the children in the house not asking the parents to give him 20 rupees to buy a chocolate. That is the first part, not for the material benefit. And the second part of this is the kids not asking the parents to pay their school fees, to buy the books for them. They're not using it for their entertainment. They are using it for their enlightenment, and which every parents are happy, right? But the how many times we have seen our kids begging us, please pay our school fees. Right? We do it with from our side and very happily. So it does not mean that we should stop praying. Okay? The the path of our devotional service is directly proportional to how much sincerely we are chanting. We discussed this part, right? And now, what is the meaning of the chanting? Meaning of the chanting is, "Oh Lord, oh Srimati Radharani, kindly engage me in your devotional service." So, as long as we have that hankering, we don't need anything else in our life. Our capacity to do the service, because of our health, because of our financial thing, because of our geographical position, because of our n number of reasons, will will always be in a compromising situation. But our mood of doing the service, even if we are in the midst of the problems, and why should I say even if we are in the midst of the problem, we are actually in the midst of the problem, right? Can all be taken care if we have that service mode of begging for the mercy. Okay. And last point on this before we go to the next verse is like, or maybe second last, sorry, is like our how do we understand about the surrender? So the surrender means like a blank check. When we give a blank check, it is on the wish of the person what amount they want to fill in, right? Pandavas were given a lot of problems in their life by Kauravas throughout their life. So if one is capable enough to fight and then he is not fighting, then that certainly means maturity. And no maturity in the world can sustain for a long time until we are actually surrendered to them. Otherwise, it is all the pretension. It is just a matter of time. How much ever mature we call, we will end up into the trap of the Maya. Something or another of the higher degree will come and then influence us and take us away. Okay? Only if our attachment is towards the Lord, then only in this world nothing can affect us. There is a nice saying, right, in Hindi, Poot kaput kahe dhan sanche, poot saput kahe dhan sanche. If your children are good, they will earn the money themselves. Why to accumulate the money? And if the children are bad, they will anyway spoil whatever we earn. And again, why to accumulate the money? Why? Why are we discussing that example here? If in our life we are completely average or below average in everything else, but have surrenderness to the Lord, our life is successful. In our life, if we are superbly perfect in our each and every endeavor that we do, anything we touch becomes gold. Accept Krishna consciousness. Our life is utter waste because we are going to start from the same in the next life. So, the choice is ours, right? Whom we want to surrender and what we need. It is completely okay if we are struggling in our life. Those whom we feel are not struggling are also struggling, but they are just right. We discussed in the beginning. We are all getting rotten, but we are not opening our heart. If if a person is happy, it's only possible that he surrender to the Lord. Otherwise, it is all a matter of time. The things will be revealed. And why do we need to actually even know about others? We have to just focus on ourselves. Okay, we go to the next verse. Sorry, just taking the time. Yeah. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Uh, yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I'll repeat after you, Prabhuji.
Sure, Mataji. Yeah, okay. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
इत्यादिराजेन नुतः स विश्वदृक्
Ityadirajen nutasa vishwadrik.
तमः राजं न मयि भक्तिरसस्तुते
Tamam aha
राजन्
rajan
मयि
mayi bhaktir astute.
दिष्टे दृशिधिर मयि ते कृतायया
Diste ye drishi dirmaya te kritaya.
मायां मदियां तरति समा दुष्यजाम्.
Maya madiyam tarati sama dushyajam. May I continue with purport, Prabhuji? Translation and purport?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sage Maitreya continued by saying that the Lord, the seer of the universe, after hearing Prithu Maharaj's prayer, addressed the king, "My dear king, may you always be blessed by engaging in my devotional service. Only by such purity of purpose as you yourself very intelligently express can one cross over the insurmountable illusory energy of Maya." Purport. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, wherein the Lord claims that the illusory energy is insurmountable. No one can transcend the illusory energy of Maya by fruitive activity, speculative philosophy, or mystic yoga. The only means for transcending illusory energy is devotional service, as the Lord Himself states. Mamevaye prapadyante maya mevitam tarantite, Bhagavad Gita 7.14. If one wants to cross over the ocean of material existence, there is no alternative than to take to devotional service. A devotee, therefore, should not care for any material position, whether in heaven or in hell. A pure devotee should always engage in the service of the Lord, for that is his real occupation. Simply by sticking to that position, one can overcome the stringent law of the material nature. Prabhuji, can you please scroll down?
That's it, Mataji. This was short part of this.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thanks a lot, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, so one word, again, which Maitreya Rishi is emphasizing here, right? So he's telling that use your intelligence, as you yourself very intelligently express, then only we can cross over the unsurmountable illusory energy of Maya. And then Lord is giving the instruction, right? By saying that the Lord, the seer of the universe, after hearing Prithu Maharaj's prayer, Lord addressed the king as, "My dear king, may you always be blessed by engaging in my devotional service." So there are two things which we are going to discuss. One is the engagement, and the second thing is the intelligence. Okay. So if we keep all the senses engaged in the service of the Lord, then we are in the safe zone. We don't have the mood to serve. We don't have the sufficient intelligence, nor we have taste. But if we are using our senses in the service of the Lord, in the association of the devotee, more important. Okay. Rest of the things are just a matter of time. Everything else will follow. So if we want to take one word from the today's entire discussion, then that word is surrenderness. If we can take two words from the discussion, that is surrenderness and engagement. Actually speaking, we are surrendered to the things, then only we get engaged with them. Right? We are surrendered to Maya, that's why we are always engaged in the service of the Maya by doing the things which are there at the bodily platform. But still, to make the things very, very clear, if there are two words to be taken away, that is surrenderness and this basically engagement. Right? And if there are three words possible to be taken away, then the third word is attention. See, we don't need to be a scholar person. Okay. Intelligence just means that I had made a small note, okay, to basically explain it more clearly. So for intelligence, we don't need to be a scholar. Okay. In case of scholar person, like whatever he reads, he can like connect all the dots and understand and remember so many slokas and then put everything together, and then those are like very advanced stage. Everybody cannot be a scholar, which is not required also. All we need is that little intelligence. What is the work of the intelligence that Bhagavad Gita says? The discriminating power. What is good for me, what is not good for me. Okay? Like we discussed about the prayers and Shreyas, right? A 10th grade boy who has an exam tomorrow morning and is very interested in to watch a cricket match. If he watches it, then it is something called prayers. He wants immediate benefit. Now only. This is where the whole world is going into. Shreyas means, yes, match is important, but this is the question of my 1 year of studies. And because tomorrow is the exam, let me sleep on time or study, or at least not affect my consciousness into anything else. Okay, that is Shreyas. So intelligence just means this discriminating power. So now, here, when we, okay, this is again a very good description by Her Grace Yamuna Devi Das Mataji. There is a book by His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. There she is writing a small article for the Back to Godhead magazine. And she is mentioning that we are here in this material world because of our desires. Because we wanted to enjoy, we have got these senses to enjoy it. And it is all the show of what do we desire and how do we take them. And then she explains about intelligence. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagwatam, second canto, that 3rd chapter, 13th verse, that when we meditate on the deities, our sequence of the darshan should be starting from the feet, and then gradually it should go up. Okay, and the more the times we can meditate on each of the limbs of the deities, the amount of time that we can relish and can meditate, that directly gives us the intelligence. Okay, so it is something very interesting. And then finally, Mataji continues in that article, and then she tells the highest degree is Sarvadharman Parityajya, where we surrender to the Lord. So see, Lord also wants to take us, but does not want to do it out of the force. And then he gives us this material body. And it is a blessing that this material body is not permanent. Otherwise, we have become so much of adjustful in our lives that any challenge comes and we find a way that I will adjust. It is a biggest blessing, okay, that the life is finite. And then at least it gives us a chance to rethink when we see the people around us leaving, that this is not the permanent place to settle. Okay. And then when we serve the Lord, be in the association of the devotees, do the chanting, okay, then comes the highest degree of surrenderness, which is like Sarvadharman Parityajya. I don't know what is good for me, right? Like Prithu Maharaj said, I don't know where is the ocean, where is the bank of the ocean. And then whatever way you want to guide me. If we feel we have to come first in the devotional service, Prabhuji's and Mataji's, that is also an allurement of the Maya. Very, very important statement. Uh, like the Lord is instructing Prithu Maharaj here, that you engage your intelligence, right? And then you can cross over this insurmountable illusory energy of Maya. So, similar to that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told us, Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh, hamara agya guru hai, tumhara ye desh. He is instructing us. Srila Prabhupada is instructing us. Whomever you see, just tell Krishna upadesh. And I'm telling you with my folded hands. And all the credit goes to Her Grace Suguna Vrinda Devidas Mataji. We often discuss. Just 2 or 3 days back also we were discussing, me and my wife. So that uh, when we follow our acharyas, who is acharya? Acharya is one who is not only saying but is doing it also. And I can tell you very confidently, I want to glorify for a right reason, because we have learned it from our Grace Suguna Devidas Mataji. Whomever she has seen in her life, okay, uh, the person have become Krishna conscious. We have seen it from the room. And so we have to take the shelter and blessings of the senior devotees so that we follow in their footsteps. So message for Prithu Maharaj by the Lord, and message for us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. And use your intelligence. Intelligence does not mean that we have to be a very qualified or very scholar person. Intelligence just means the COVID was going on, so wash your hands. It does not need a person to be a very scholar, right? So the interesting fact here is intelligence only tells us when what things we should be careful for and what things we should not be careful, right? I repeat, okay, the things that we should be careful for, we should be very alert for, may not be the things that we are actually alert for. An example, 3 years old boy on a street is not at all careful, is walking straight. Even on highway he can walk happily, but we know he has to be fearful. He should not be walking. And the second line, I will not say. Second line, we have to realize in our heart. We are that 3 years old boy who are walking happily on this highway of Maya. And happily we are walking as if there is no danger. Where is our intelligence? Intelligence does not mean, right? We should just know what is good for me or what is not good for me. So we have to be at least this much intelligent that we should know what is going to benefit me and what is not. And if we are not, then we have to take the shelter. Guru Sadhu Shastra. Shastras are meant for the will of the Lord. Lord is so extremely happy when we discuss Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagwatam. Take the example of Arjuna. It said clearly, Karpanya dosho upayat svabhava. I don't know what is good for me. Please guide. I don't know where to go, left to right, or like fight or not fight. Or Lord told Bhagavad Gita in the midst of the battlefield. Parikshit Maharaj was about to leave in a week. Let us pray the Lord that we get at least a fraction of the fraction of the fraction of their mood sometime in our life or in lives. If we are told we are going to go after a week, what will be our consciousness? Right? So we go to the next verse because we are only running all the time. The last verse, we will only read the purport and the translation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. This is one thing I learned from His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Bhagavad Swami Maharaj. When the mic was getting passed, all the 100 devotees sitting in that hall and sub chanting once. So fortunately, the pace was taking longer to load. So let it load, and we go near to the Lord. Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to read the
Hare
first
Krishna,
shloka?
Prabhuji, may I read?
Yes, Mataji. Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Yes.
तत्त्वं कुरु मयादिष्टं प्रमत्तः प्रजापते मदादेश करो लोकः सर्वत्राप्नोति शोभनम्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear King, O protector of the citizens, henceforward be very careful to execute my orders and not be misled by anything. Anyone who lives in that way, simply carrying out my orders faithfully, will always find good fortune all over the world. Purport: the sum and substance of religious life is to execute the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one who does so is perfectly religious. In Bhagavad Gita 18.65, the Supreme Lord Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakta, just think of me always and become my devotee. Furthermore, the Lord says, Sarvadharmam parityaja mama ekam sharanam vraja. Give up all kinds of material engagement and simply surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. This is the primary principle of religion. Anyone who directly executes such an order from the personality of Godhead is actually a religious person. Others are described as pretenders. For there are many activities going on throughout the world in the name of religion, which are not actually religious. For one who executes the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, there is only good fortune throughout the world. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
So I want to share only one small incident from the book of His Holiness Giriraj Swami. So once Gurudas Prabhu, who is the husband of Yamuna Devi Dasi Mataji, we all know Yamuna Mataji in our lives. He's the one who is Govindamadi Purusham. all the temples across the world, ISKCON, in Darshanarthi, it is her voice. So she is Jamuna Mataji, and her husband is Gurudas Prabhu. So Gurudas Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada, and they were the strength of ISKCON in India was 6 people in 1969 in India. I'm saying. So when they came first time, Srila Prabhupada brought his dancing white elephants. So they were traveling. They were traveling without any resources. There was nobody, no Lakshmi. So once they stayed in a place, and then one Jyotishi astrologer came, and then he was asking, he could read the palms. So Gurudas Prabhu asked Srila Prabhupada, can we show our palms? Prabhupada said, yes, okay. And when he saw the palms, and then he told, oh, you are a very nice devotee. You'll go back to Godhead this lifetime. Second person, he says, no, you may take another life. You will not go this time. He told different things. And when that astrologer went, all the disciples, they came to Srila Prabhupada and asked, Prabhupada, what the astrologer told, is it correct? Prabhupada said, when you go in front of the Lord and in the kirtan, when you are doing 3 times if you clap, then all the lines of your hands are changed. So that is the power of the devotional service. Why are we discussing that here? We are discussing that because anyone who lives in that way, simply carrying out my orders faithfully, will always find good fortune all over the world. If we want to know what the fortune is, then it is only and only having the instructions of our spiritual master with us. If we wake up in the morning and we do not know what is my spiritual goal, that life is waste. Okay? And if we have the instructions of our Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, then how much our pathetic conditions we are into, our life is still successful. Thank you so much, Prabhujis and Matajis. Seek your blessings and forgiveness. I said something which I should not have. Kindly pray, bless me that I can follow what I said. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please feel free. We can discuss it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Earlier in many lectures that we listen, always people say you have to be satisfied with what you have, and you should not desire for more. That is one part of surrender. But that one we are listening all the time. But today the word line that you said was very nice, Prabhuji. You said that is, if we are going to be after earning so much money later, if we are going to be satisfied, that means we should be satisfied today with whatever we have. That we are not satisfied, so definitely we will not be satisfied in future also. That example, that analogy that you said was very nice, Prabhuji. It was if that is very true also. We will think tomorrow when we are, when we are getting a higher job, when we are going for a higher position, and we will be trying for that. We may full play, we do so many things, we are going to work hard, we are going to do so many things, fall at so many people's feet to get higher position and all, but it is going to be useless because now we are not satisfied. Future also we will not be satisfied. That line was very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thanks a lot, Mataji, for your Srila Prabhupada. Thanks a lot for sharing that. Yes. And it is actually true because, see, the biggest asset, we all know the example of Sanatana Goswami. He had that touchstone which could make the iron into gold, right? And when a person came to ask for that, and he said, okay, it will be there in one of the corners in that garbage, you search. That person was intelligent enough. He said, if the touchstone for which I am so mad, had that been the real jewel, then why would Sanatana Goswami keep that into the garbage? It means he has something more. And then he asks the right question, and then he gets the knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and then he understands what is the fact of the life. So yes, we have to be satisfied, we have to be alert, we have to be conscious, and then only one thing which can satisfy us is can I share one more small story, Mataji? Is it okay? Are you getting late? Or we are done with the
Yes,
time?
Prabhuji. Yes, you can share, Prabhuji. No problem.
So thank you, Mataji. So once a person goes to a sage and then he touches his feet, that person was not at all into devotion. He was doing all kinds of nonsense activities. And he went to the sage and he was touching his feet. And then sage was touching his feet back. And when the person asked, "Why are you touching my feet?" He said, then the sage asked, "Why are you touching my feet?" So the person said, you have given up everything for the Lord. That's why I'm touching your feet." And then the sage says, "You have given up even the Lord, who is the creator of everything, who is taking care of your breath and everything. You have the bigger heart that you could give up the Lord. So you are a bigger renunciant than me. I just left this world. This world was anyway going to leave me anyway. But you have left the Lord, who is never going to leave us. So you have a bigger heart. You are more advanced, renunciant than me. So that's why I'm touching your feet." So I was just trying to share this both Sanatana Goswami's example and this touchstone example. This one, renunciant example, just to highlight that we have to be satisfied what we have. Otherwise, and only the Lord is a real satisfaction. The rest everything is just an illusion, which will uncover in a matter of time. So thanks, Ajay Mataji, for sharing that. Any other Mataji? Okay, thanks a lot, Mataji, once again. पांचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
अनंत
अनंत
कोटि
कोटि
वैष्णव
वैष्णव
वृंद
की
की
जय।
जय। लीला
श्री
प्रभुपाद।
प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Prabhuji.
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा।
Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
प्रणाम
Krishna,
माता जी।
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
प्रणाम प्रभु
Prabhuji.
जी।
Ji.